Aloha, this is May here with YesFinanciallyFree.com, and this is May here with YesFinanciallyFree.com, and also YouTube channel Creative Abundance Now. I started my internet marketing business, Creative Abundance Now, and that was before I started blogging about financial freedom. However, I believe the same thing for both, because we can create abundance in our life right now. So I still believe in the same theme. So that's why my YouTube channel still has the same name. I know that's not the greatest for branding, but that's how it is. So if you're wondering what's going on there. Blog is YesFinanciallyFree.com, and there is a link underneath this video to that blog. So let's talk about today's topic: 9 ways to make yourself more expensive. How cool is that, right? And if you were on my email list and you know about this training, and if you aren't on my email list, get on it right now. It's at my blog, YesFinanciallyFree.com. And if you go there, on the right side, it'll say, do you want freedom or something? Yes. And then put your first name and your email address, and you get on the email list, and you get a free guide, Working Parents Guide to Financial Freedom. I wrote a little ebook for you with all the basics of what I do to create more and more passive income in our lives and upgrade our lifestyles every chance I get. So we're actually in the middle of upgrading our life again. So we live in a 1-bedroom in a beautiful condo in Honolulu, and we're upgrading to a 3-bedroom. We're going to purchase a 3-bedroom condo in Waikiki, and we're closing this month, May 21st. And then we're moving. So we're upgrading our life again. This is a big upgrade for me because I've never owned a 3-bedroom. And it was a big step for us to own a 1-bedroom 2 years ago. And now we own 1 bedroom. We just sold one to buy this 3-bedroom. So now we own one bedroom that we Airbnb business out of. And we're renting this condo, and we're going to move into a 3-bedroom that we're going to own. And that's the first time I've ever owned a 3-bedroom. So it's a big deal for me. For some of you out there, maybe it's not. It costs $405,000 for us to buy this 3-bedroom, just so you kind of understand the price. We're going to be living in Waikiki in a very beautiful place. So we're living in paradise. That's the cost of paradise. I heard that the average 3-bedroom price in the United States is like $100,000 or something. It's like way lower than what we're paying, but that's how it is. That's how much it costs to live in paradise. So I started this journey being really bad with money. Okay. So I wasn't born like, anybody, I wasn't raised by parents who knew a lot about money either. Okay. So I learned it all on my own. Right. And I learned it through trial and error, baby. So I had a lot of debt back in 2009, 2010. And it was affecting my job performance. I was working at a bank. I was an analyst at the time. And I was not able to pay my rent. My checks wouldn't go through. I would get fees in the bank, and I was afraid I would get fired because I was bad with money. I work in a bank, bad with money. It doesn't make sense, right? So then I talked to my boss at the time, and he helped me, chart out all these debts I had and how to refinance and figure out things. And I did that a couple times, picked up more debt, and finally I stopped overspending. And I learned about money. I learned about how to pay yourself first, give yourself money before you pay bills so that you value yourself more. And I learned about how to create passive income with the money I save. I learned about how to invest, how to calculate if this is a good investment or not. I learned a lot of things. And thankfully, gratefully, I was able to quit that job. Even though I'm very blessed to have had it, I was able to quit it when I wanted to in December of 2016. And then I became a full-time mommy to our 3-year-old Jordan at the time. And it was wonderful. I got to spend a lot of time with him and really feel like a mom. When you work a full-time job and you have a baby, it's hard to really enjoy yourself being a mom because you're so busy at work, and then you get tired. And I didn't want that. I wanted to be a mom. I wanted to be there for my son. I wanted to get to know him, actually spend time with him. So it's a blessing. I was able to quit. And I started a business, and my business is coaching people just like you on how to become financially free. And I'm just teaching you what I do. That's all I'm doing. And I remember when I started this business, I wasn't very confident. And a friend of mine told me to just go for it. And I was like, why would people listen to me? I'm not a millionaire. I'm not free yet. But I am making passive income. And we thought about it. And I was like, I guess most people don't make passive income, right? We make over $500 a month in dividend income. We make money from our Airbnb business, so we have income coming in. And it's allowed me not to have to work, right? I don't have to work a job. I do coaching, but I don't have to work a full-time job anymore. And it's given me a lot of time freedom. And most people I know don't have any time freedom, very little time freedom. They're very busy, like so busy with work and whatever, and they just don't have time freedom. It's crazy. And a lot of people have to work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs, and I don't have to work any jobs. I choose to work this one because I love it. So then I decided to coach, and that's where I am today. I'm a coach. I also create programs for you to purchase, like the 7-Day Finance Freedom Challenge, where you can learn to make 2 streams of passive income in 7 days, which is basically set up your first high yield savings account and start learning how to buy dividend yielding stocks, which is what I do. So it's just simple stuff, You can do the other product, which I'm just launching now, which is the 1-year Finance Freedom Makeover, where you get recordings of one of my masterminds. I created mastermind groups with clients, and I just coach them, and we work together through barriers and mental barriers and actual not knowing what to do barriers, on how to create passive income, how to budget for freedom, how to create more free time, how to do that kind of thing. And I did that for a year with 3 groups of clients, and I recorded one group, all recorded. And you can buy that recording, all the recordings. You can get it every week. You can follow along with them for a year, just like they did, and see the transformation yourself. Do the exercises, follow along with the videos. And that's only $97, which is crazy cheap right now. I don't know if I'm going to keep it that low, but I'm just launching that now. So that product is out there. So I create these products for people so that they can become financially free as quickly as possible, because I want everyone to be financially free, because we all have gifts to express, and we don't need to express them because of money. We want to express them and then make money because we're doing what we love, right? That's what we really want, in our hearts. We just want to do what we're meant to do, what makes us feel good, what's happy for us, and then let the money flow, because the value we get and the value we give is so much that the money comes in. That's what we all really want when it comes to finances. So there we are. So that's the topic, 9 ways to make yourself more expensive. Let's talk about why I thought of this topic. So I used to have a lot of debt. How much debt is that? Like $30,000. To you, that might not be a lot of debt. Donald Trump used to have, what, a billion, millions of debt? Who knows? But I had $30,000, and that was a lot for me because my bank job only paid me about $30,000, $35, I think it was. So that's how much I got paid in a year, and they took a third of that to taxes. So I got paid like 20, really. 20 something thousand. That's it. So 30,000 was a lot of debt. That means it would take me years to pay it off, and it did actually. It took me 6 years to pay it all off. The amazing thing is, at the end of those 6 years, I was much better with money. I had passive income coming in, and I was able to quit my job. So, and then we bought our first property, then our second property. Now we just sold our first property, buy another property, and live in a bigger place in paradise. We still live in paradise, but so we keep upgrading our life, all right? And I was talking to one of my mastermind members yesterday and realized that we both got offered the same job. We got one of our friends. She needs help with she works at a contractor's office. She needs help, part-time temporary job. Usually in the past, I would have actually talked to her and been like, so how much are you paying? Maybe I can come in. But this time when I heard it, I didn't do anything. I was just like, oh, thank you for the job offer. I didn't want to tell the friend who was referring me that I didn't like it. So I was like, thank you for the job. I'll talk to that lady directly, the friend who needs help. And then I didn't talk to her for a whole week. And my mastermind member, when he was offered a job, in his brain, he thought, you can't afford me, right? Can't afford me. And when I was offered the job, I just waited for a week. And this happened just a few weeks, like a month ago. I just waited for a week, didn't do anything. I was like stuck on it. I didn't know what was going on. I realized I didn't want to say no because she was my friend. Not a close friend, but, someone I knew and, saw occasionally, and, someone who I would support. And I wanted to help her, but I didn't want a job. I didn't want to work part-time at a contractor's office helping her, even if she paid me, because I had other things I'd rather do, like this. Like today I created this topic and I'm going to teach it online, and you're going to see it today live, or you're going to see it some other day as a replay. And I feel like this is more valuable use of my time, right? And I do this for 1 hour a day. And then after this, I'm going to, do my numbers. Every month, our mastermind, we all do our numbers. What does that mean? We calculate our cash flow, net worth, all these financial freedom account. We calculate our passive income. We pay it to ourselves, right? So it's an important time of the month. It's when you evaluate how you did and you pay yourself your money, right? It's a great time. So I'm going to finish doing my numbers today. I started doing it yesterday. I'm going to finish today. And then I'm going to go pick up my son and take him to the playground, because the playroom's closing, and have fun with him. And so that's my day. And I think that's way more satisfying than working a part-time job, somewhere. And even if they did pay me money, what would I do with the money? I would do exactly what I'm doing right now. So why go and get money for a job when you're already doing what you love, right? So I realized that. And finally I texted her and said, oh, Laura said you needed help. I'm unavailable. I said, I'm unavailable, but if I find someone that wants it, I'll let you know. And she said, thank you, right? And it was not a big deal for her, but it was a big deal for me. I went through this whole week-long process of thinking about it, and I realized I am more expensive than I used to be, because 10 years ago, I probably would have taken that job, right? Help a friend, make some extra money. But now it's like you couldn't pay me enough to do that. It's like I wouldn't do it, And I was thinking about it. How expensive am I, right? It made me really think about what made this happen. How come? And same with my mastermind member. He just bought the investment property from us, right? He has his own Airbnb business now. He owns a cleaning business. He quit his job while he was in mastermind. He actually upgraded a job and then he quit. And now he's not even ever working the job for his kids. His own businesses. He's doing his own. He makes passive income. He's one of my mastermind members. And he's like, you can't afford me. And I completely understand where he's coming from, right? Because we are more expensive. You cannot hire us. You cannot pay us to do anything. We won't work for you. It's amazing, and this is a really serious question, because I used to work a job. So I did have a price, because I would spend my time at this job and they would pay me this money, and I would do that. And finally I came to the point where I quit and I wouldn't do that anymore. So what is it for you? How expensive are you? How can we make your time more expensive so that you won't even work jobs anymore? You create your own money. You're your own boss. You already are doing what you love. So there are things I did over these last 10 years. Because I quit my job in 2016. Now it's 2019. So it's 3 years more. I was like, I guess 9 years. 8-9 years of time when I really went into this. I really got into financial freedom, studied it, learned it, mastered as much as I can. I'm still working on it, but got into it really heavy. And I realized there are things that I did that helped me, because when I started out, like you, maybe I worked a job. I worked. It wasn't a lucrative job either. It was just a job. Okay. It was a regular job. I went from analyst to a private banking assistant because I wanted to learn about sales. So I wasn't even a full banker. I was an assistant. Okay. So it wasn't like prestigious or anything like that. So how did I move through this and get out of the job force and come to this point? So that's what today's about. And I'm excited to share this with you because everything that I'm going to share with you works, and I did it. And that's what made me so expensive today. Like, I was thinking about it. If someone wanted to work with me, I wouldn't even work with anyone for too long, but I would give them 40 minutes of my time once a week, and only one person, and they would have to pay me $20,000, and that would be for 1 year. So 40 minutes online for once a week for a whole year would cost $20,000 if someone wanted to work with me one-on-one. And I would only take one student because I don't have that many 40-minute increments to give out. So that would be it. And I was like, wow, that's a lot more expensive than I used to cost. But that's how much I cost right now. Same with my group mastermind program, which if you want to join, this month is the time, May, because in June we start, and then I don't open it up till February. So I only open up my mastermind in June and in February, and that's it. So if you want to join, now's the time. Let me know, message me. So yeah, so basically, if you want to join that group, it costs $5,000 for the year. We meet every Monday at 8 a.m. Hawaii time, which is right now, I think it's 2 p.m. Eastern time. So we meet online for 40 minutes as a group. Everybody comes on, and you can join that for $5,000 for the whole year. And that's the cost of, and then you can also do the office hour every Wednesday at 9 a.m. in about 15 minutes. I'm available for my mastermind members for 1 hour online, not recorded, just whatever they need. So that's the time that I'm available for this type of business. And that's it. And I'm not making any more time. So that's all. And my mastermind members also get 1 hour a month with me online to help them with their numbers if they need help. So that's it. And I don't give any more time out than that. That's it. That's the max. No more. Because my time is too valuable to me. So let's go through it, right? And if you're on my blog, I will write these on my blog. If you're watching this live, it's not there yet, but I will update my blog and put all these steps in there for you, okay? So let's do, what did I do? How did I become more expensive so that I don't have to work a job anymore? I can be my own boss. How did that happen, right? Well, the first thing is, I learned this from T. Harv Eker, Millionaire Mind Intensive Seminar, and it was one of the first things I learned, is to do something that makes you feel rich every month. Just something. So we put aside money in a budget. He taught us to put aside 10%, pay yourself first 10%. 10% also goes to this thing called play money, right? And I was not good with playing with money, all right? Some people are really good at this. I've seen them. I wasn't. Okay, so I'm the type of personality who always paid her bills first, paid everybody except me, right? But anyway, so I started saving 10%, and I would get tax refunds at the time. I don't get tax refunds anymore, but back then I got tax refunds, and I would save 10%. So sometimes it would be like I got $3,000 tax refund after I started my internet business. I would get more taxes back, and $300, I put it in a play, and it's like, I have $300 to spend. I have to spend it this month on something fun, right? And I was like, something that makes me feel rich. So the first time that happened, it was funny because people thought my problem was so hilarious. Like, that's a great problem to have. And I was like, $300, what do I do with it? And I ended up, my boyfriend at the time, we ended up staying at the Royal Hawaiian Hotel in Hawaii. It's like this pink hotel. And we got a Kama'aina rate, so we could stay there one night in this fancy hotel. So I got to stay in this fancy hotel for one night. And I felt really rich because I was staying in this beautiful, fancy hotel on Waikiki Beach. And it was gorgeous. And it made me feel rich. So do that for yourself. Now, you don't have to stay in a fancy hotel, although you can. Whatever makes you feel rich. You could rent a car, like a luxury car, and drive around in it if you like. I did that too. I rented, I forgot, a Mercedes, I think. I forgot. I rented a nice car. I drove a luxury car, and I drove it around for a week, and it was really fun because I felt rich. So whatever makes you feel rich, okay? It could be doing your nails, if you want to go or get a massage, get a pedicure. You might just go to some fancy hotel and drink coffee in their cafe, You don't have to stay in it if you don't have enough money, but you can drink coffee in their coffee shop and just pretend you're rich. Feel rich, because the more you feel expensive and rich, the more you practice that, you eventually start really being that. It becomes the way you are, because your thinking and your feeling, it becomes your life, becomes your lifestyle, right? So number one, just do something that makes you feel rich every month. So that's fun, right? Isn't that fun? Anyone can do this. Doesn't matter how much money you have. Like I said, you can walk into a rich hotel and not pay a thing, okay? So you can sit in their lobby, right? So if you have no money, you can still do this exercise, okay? No excuses, people. That's number one. Number two, do a dream line there's a book by Timothy Ferriss called The 4-Hour Workweek. And in it, he has this dreamline exercise, which is so cool. Highly recommend you do it. On my blog, I will put a link there to it. But basically, all you do is write down what your dreams are. What would you do if you were living your dream life right now? Okay, so what would you do? And just write it out. I would, during the day, what would you do when you wake up? So what is your dream day? What are you doing? Where are you living? What are you doing? Just write it out. And then after you write it out, you figure out how much each of those things cost. And after you figure out how much of those things cost, go take an action step toward getting one of those things. Okay. And the first time I did this exercise, I wrote down, one of the things I wrote down was I wanted to go surfing every day. When I looked at it, I realized that it didn't cost me anything except a surfboard, right? And a surfboard, you can get them used. I ended up buying one used for $150 on Craigslist. I had to save up. You know, I wasn't good with money at the time. So it took me a while to save up $150 at the time. But I did, saved up $150 and I bought a surfboard and I went surfing. And I went surfing every day because it's free. Because I live in Hawaii already, right? So all I had to do was go out with my surfboard and surf every day. And I just started doing it. I realized I can do my dream right now and it doesn't cost me as much as I thought. And then I just started surfing every day. So whatever it is for you, it might not be surfing every day, okay? It might be something else, maybe hiking every day or running every day or fishing every day or whatever. Write down what it is that makes you feel rich, that makes you feel like you're living your dream, all of that stuff. And then write down how much they cost and start going towards something. All right? Once you start living your dream, no one can pay you to do anything different because you're already living your dream. Does that make sense? You become so expensive because you're already doing what you love, which is kind of what happened to me and my mastermind members. So it's like no one can hire us anymore. Number 3, okay, so number 2 is chart it out, figure out what your dream life would be, how much does it cost. And number 3, I put number 3 is actually take action and do one of those dream actions. You know, start saving money or just start doing it, whatever. Number 4, affirm your worth with affirmations. So what are affirmations? They're just things that you say. When you're thinking, when you're not even consciously knowing you're thinking, you have thoughts going on in your head saying things, right? They might be saying, oh, that was cool, or oh, that was stupid, or oh, she's kind of nice, or oh, she's kind of mean, or oh, whatever. You're thinking about all kinds of things, right? Oh, maybe I should eat now, or maybe later, blah, 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 blah. You know, your mind is the thinking. What you want to do is train your mind to think about things that make you rich, make you feel worthy, very valuable, right? So you want to say things in your head like, oh, I'm so expensive, or I work for myself. I'm my own boss. I create value for people around me all the time. I'm grateful for my life. I love what I do. I'm a precious human being. I deserve to be here because I was born. I'm gorgeous. I'm sexy. Whatever comes to you. Something that makes you feel expensive, right? Feel worthy. Feel like, you know. So you make affirmations. Now, if you don't know how to make affirmations, one way to do it is to just write the thoughts that you're thinking. Like sit down and write down exactly what you're thinking, right? I'm listening to May. I'm not sure if I believe her. I think, and write down what you're thinking about money. Okay, so I never have enough money. I live paycheck to paycheck. Keep bouncing my checks. When am I going to have enough? Blah, 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 blah. Write out whatever. Okay, whatever thoughts you have about money. And say that you say, I never have enough. So what you would do with that is you would do the opposite. So if you say I never have enough money, change it to I always have more than enough money, right? I have an excess of money. I have so much money, I don't know what to do with it. That's a cool one, right? So then you could do that. So you write down, I have so much money that I don't know what to do with it all, right? Or I have so much money and I love spending it and I love saving it and I love investing it. Or I have plenty of streams of passive income. You know, so many. And I'm going to put a link in my blog to a post that I did with 643 affirmations, if you can't think of your own. But just write your own thoughts and do the opposite. And then you'll have a group of sentences that you can work on because it'll be overwriting your thoughts about money right now. All right? Because if you're thinking that you're poor and you never have enough, that's exactly what your life is going to have for you. But if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so wealthy, I have so many opportunities, so much money coming my way, what do I do with all this money and abundance coming my way? If you're thinking that, you are becoming more expensive, right? Okay, so the 5th thing to do is if affirmations, like say you write these sentences and you're saying them, maybe they're not as powerful for you because you don't believe them, all right? That might be the case. Might not be, but if it is, or if you want something more powerful, do affirming questions. Now, what's the difference? Sentences are just something people say, and usually you either agree, disagree, or you don't really think about it, right? Now, the next step is questions. Questions, what your brain will do when it hears a question is it will think of answers, right? So questions are really cool to make you think about being rich because you can ask yourself empowering questions. So let's say you ask yourself, why do I have so much money? And then the universe will start thinking of, well, because you're smart, because you're good with money, because you're great making money, and because you invested in that thing and that was good. And so it'll start thinking of ways to affirm why you have so much money, or why am I always given so many great opportunities? Oh, because you're attractive, because you have a nice personality, because you're good with money and people know that, because so you start asking yourself questions instead of affirmations. Why do I have more money than I know what to do with? Because you're blessed, because you deserve it, because and then your brain will start answering your question. So you kind of like programming your brain. So that's why you might have grown up with disempowering questions, right? So now it's your turn to create some empowering questions. Why am I so rich? Why do I have it all? Why is money so easy for me? Why do I always have more than money for everything? Why am I so rich? Right? Okay? So that's number 5. Number 6 is to take these affirmations and take these questions, whatever makes more sense to you, and actually say them every day. All right? So it's one thing to create them, but actually say them, because it's the practice that changes your brain and your thinking and your life. I used to say them like I would ride my bicycle home from work and scream them while I was riding my bike, because I heard that the more active you are, from Tony Robbins, he used to run and scream his affirmations, right? And I was biking, so I would scream them, because when you're doing an active activity with your body and you're saying things, it comes in your brain more, because you're just more active and you're like, I'm financially free. So, and it's exciting. It feels good, pumped up. You get exercise. So do that. You can either do what I did. If you think that's too crazy, do it in your car. Say them in your car. You can record it on your phone, right? Record it on your phone and then play it back to yourself while you're working or while you're reading or while you're walking. Just listen to yourself say the affirmations and questions over and over and over and over and over and over. These are ways that I used to do it, right? I used to record my affirmations and listen to them. I used to yell them out when I was biking home from work. I said them so many times that just became so ingrained in my body. It was like, oh yeah, of course. And you want that to be that way. You want thoughts of wealth and prosperity to be so ingrained in your brain that you're like, of course I'm worthy and valuable, and of course people want to pay me 20 grand for 40 minutes a week, and of course. The next one, number 7, subliminal wealth music. They have it on YouTube. I have it on my blog. I'll put a link in my blog for that too. The best subliminal programming videos for creating wealth. And this is just stuff where you can play it, and sometimes it's music, sometimes it's just straight up people saying wealth affirmations, and you just listen to it. And it's already on YouTube, so you don't have to make a recording. Just listen. You can listen to it when you go to sleep. I used to listen to guided meditations when I went to bed every night. I would listen to affirmations on loops when I was sleeping, because when you're sleeping, you're more susceptible to hearing things, and it goes in your brain, it soaks in, because you're unconscious and you're sleeping and you're in your subconscious mind or something. And so, and you're sleeping, so why not? So just listen to stuff while you're sleeping. You could do that too. This is a great way to reprogram your brain to think about wealth and be richer, right? Number 8, pay yourself first. This is really important. I usually use it as number 1, but I didn't want to scare you. Pay yourself first is so important. I did mention it in number 1. Pay yourself first means every time you get money, take at least 10% and put it aside in an account for you. And that doesn't mean for spending. It means for investing. So like a savings account, but not a savings account for spending, for investing. Okay, people get very confused because a lot of people have been trained to save and then save that money and then spend it on something. We're not talking about that. We're talking about for you to build you up to being a billionaire, millionaire, trillion, whatever you want to be. Okay, so you put aside 10% of everything you make. All right, in the beginning it might not be a lot. Doesn't matter. Just start. The habit is the key. Okay, so now every time money comes in my life, I know exactly what to do with it. 10% automatically goes into my financial freedom account, and then the rest I can, 10% play, 10% education, 50% is 10% give. I have ways I divide my money. All right, so I do this. All right, so the habit is the most important. You need to pay yourself. Why? Because if money comes in your life and you're not paying yourself first, it means you don't value you. All right, you don't believe, you don't think you deserve to have that money for yourself. So I'm here to tell you that you need to pay yourself first. You need to take money and put it aside for yourself before anyone can get it from you. Before you pay your bills, any of your bills, pay yourself, because you're more important. You are more important than all your bills, than anyone else who wants money from you. You get paid first. Everyone else has to wait in line. I learned this from Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T.R. Becker, the Millionaire Mind Intensive Seminar. I remember they were like, everyone else has to wait in line for your money. You are first in line. You get the money first. And I was like, wow, that makes so much sense. At the time, it was such a, Number 9, meditate. Every morning now I meditate. I've created a meditation habit. It took me years. I'm going to be honest. I would meditate, then not meditate. But now I actually do meditate every day. Meditation is very important. Why? When you meditate, you can focus on, what's going on in your brain. You can see all these thoughts running around, and you can understand, oh, this is what has been controlling my life. And you can separate yourself from that, and you can become a more powerful person. You can tap into your universal power inside you. You see answers. You know what to do next. When I started my own business and I didn't have a boss, no one told me what to do anymore. I had to figure it out. So I would meditate, and guidance always came. I always knew what to do next. So meditation, if you don't know how to meditate, you can Google it. Just start, find a group, a class. I took a class with Agape International Spiritual Center. They had a class, Meditation 2.0. I took that class. That helped me a lot. So those are my 9 keys. Thank you for being on this video. I'm going to start my office hour now. Aloha, and get on my email list. If you want to get in the mastermind, do it quickly. Get on the email list. Join the mastermind. Go to my blog, yesfinanciallyfree.com. Aloha, thank you so much for being on live today. Hi.